The 6 to 7 Figure Show, episode 47. Let's hit it.
Broadcasting from the Valley of the Sun outside Phoenix, Arizona. This is the 6 to 7 Figure Show. Tired of working so hard and having no time? Take your six-figure practice and turn it to a thriving seven-figure enterprise. And now, your host, author, speaker, mentor, and strategist, Frank Bria.
Hey everyone, welcome to the 6 to 7 Figure Show. I'm your host, Frank Bria, and today we are going to have a special episode, a series of trainings that we are talking about, which are going to be the 12 critical projects that you need to execute in your business in order to hit 100K a month in your service business using a high-ticket program. There's a lot of focus that we spend on the design up front, but we are going to be focusing on one of those projects today. So we're going to cut over to training on one of those projects. And after the training's done, come back, hang with us, and I will give you a way for you to get a copy of some of this training for yourself. And we'll turn it over to there. It's a little late in the day. It's like 5 o'clock Pacific time, but this is day 3 of the training. It's been a busy day, so I apologize for this being a little late, but we want to get into the lead magnet funnel today. And again, like the previous trainings, I'll link for you the notes for this training in the comment section. But let's dig right in, okay? Lead magnet funnel, what's the purpose? A lead magnet funnel basically takes a cold prospect and encourages them to give you contact information so that they get something of value. That's a lead magnet. Okay, we'll talk about that. Then you deliver that lead magnet and begin to indoctrinate that prospect into your process in order to encourage them to enter your webinar or education funnel. Okay, so the lead magnet funnel starts at the lead magnet and goes all the way through inviting them to your webinar or your educational process. Okay, we talked about that funnel last time. So that's what the scope is. So here are the steps. Step 1, you need a landing page. Okay, now the landing page is going to be the first thing your prospect's going to see before they decide to give you their personal information. So it needs to be simple and focused just on getting people to give you their email address. Now, there are certain things you have to take into consideration when you use paid advertising to drive traffic to a landing page. So if you're going to use Facebook ads or YouTube ads or whatever, there are certain things you're going to have. I'm not going to go over compliance today, but with your ad manager, make sure you're going to have things like links to your homepage or your address, copyright information, privacy policy information, etc. So it can't just be like a blank squeeze page. Keep that in mind. But for sure, your landing page needs to have a headline, a brief description of the benefit of the lead magnet with a couple of bullet points, a picture that represents the lead magnet. So have some visual stuff. That could be, something that looks like a book cover or a download or some picture there. And then a registration button that's going to collect information and then adds your prospect to your email list. Okay. So let's talk about the headline. Headlines need to identify your audience and a unique value proposition that comes out of getting your lead magnet. So that your headline shouldn't just be the name of your lead magnet, okay? A good framework for a unique value proposition is going to be what I call benefit plus control with numbers, okay? So let's talk about each of those pieces. Benefit is the outcome you create for your audience. So that's the outcome you provide, the main benefit, okay? Control is something that you either also provide or you ensure that makes the benefit meaningful, okay? So for example, let's say you lower the cost of food for a restaurant. I mean, it's so easy to say, well, sure, you can lower my cost of food. You just make the food crappy. So the control helps balance that out. So it's like, no, we actually increase the satisfaction of the food with diners while we lower the cost of food, okay? That's what control is. It balances the other side of the scale so that your benefit doesn't ruin everything, okay? So your control could be time, how long it takes to get something, quality, cost, or the approach that you take. Okay. Use numbers where you can. That's why I say with numbers. And specific numbers are better than general ones. So if you know that you do 67% increase, say 67%. Don't round it up to 70. It's not better, it's 70. 67 sounds more accurate, more realistic. So use the real numbers when you can. Okay. So for example, you put this all together with the restaurant example, you might say, lower your restaurant's food costs by 32% while increasing food satisfaction ratings from your diners. Okay. See how that works? The numbers, they're specific. You have a benefit plus control. All right. Now, in coaching and high ticket programs, we don't do restaurants. We probably don't work with food. But in the productivity coaching space, you might say something like, double your productivity while reducing your workday by 1 hour. Okay. And again, you'll need to include who you're talking to here, entrepreneurs or women or mothers or whatever. But we've said double productivity, so we're using numbers, while reducing your workday by 1 hour. So we got a very specific number in there. So that's that benefit control. You could say, oh, I could double my productivity by simply working longer. But no, they're going to actually reduce your workday. So it's a control, benefit plus control. Okay. All right. Now, on that page, what information should you collect? Well, ideally, in this first step, you're going to collect as little as possible. Okay. A first name and an email are sufficient. Some people even just get email. I like first name because you can start to personalize emails with it, but don't do more than that. Now, if you're operating in higher value markets like corporate, where you have to make sure that the leads you get are very good, you don't want to waste your time, you might ask for additional information. You might ask for phone numbers, titles, last names, whatever. Just keep in mind, with each additional field, you're reducing your conversion rate. Okay, so you might need to test this a little bit in your own market, but just understand the trade-off between having good quality leads and information and traffic that just bounces off your page. It doesn't give you anything. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now, step 2 is a thank you page. Now, the thank you page is essentially the confirmation that your prospect is going to receive the information. So let them know it's coming via email. Now, my recommendation is you tell them that it's going to arrive a couple of minutes from now, because if you say it's in your email now, they're going to leave your thank you page, go to their email, and you've lost a good opportunity to talk to them. So if you tell them it's going to come in a few minutes, like 7 minutes or whatever, then they'll wait for a second before they check because they'll think you'll have delayed it. It doesn't matter. You don't have to do that. But for high ticket programs, this thank you page is a real opportunity for you to continue to indoctrinate people, introduce who you are by giving a video thank you for requesting the lead magnet, some kind of introduction to you and your expertise, so to establish some credibility, and suggest that they get on a call with you. Now, one good way to do that is to say, hey, I know this outcome is the thing that you're interested in because you just requested this lead magnet. It's on its way to your email. But if you want to talk to me quicker and get this result faster, then let's jump on a call. Okay? Now, a lot of people use their lead magnet thank you pages for things like invitations to a Facebook group or a Tripwire sale or something that's like smaller in nature. But the data is in high ticket programs, it's more effective for you to offer a sales conversation quickly. You want to get them on the phone with you as quickly as possible. Even if they're not quite ready for it, that's okay, because remember, we talked about this before in your application funnel, you need to have follow-up, but talk to them as quickly as you can, because you're going to have people who are far enough along in the buying cycle, giving them a tripwire, having them come to your Facebook group. That's just delaying the inevitable. Okay. Now, some people aren't going to respond to that. That's fine, because now you're going to communicate with them via email and you can retarget them now. That's fine. So all of the other things that you can do with Facebook groups and tripwires and stuff, you can do during the email indoctrination. Okay, so let that be the format for that. Okay, and then obviously you need to include a button that schedules that call. You might choose that button to display after the video has introduced that concept, so a little time delay. All right, step 3, your lead magnet. Yeah, let's talk about lead magnets. This is a really good area. So what is a good lead magnet? It's something that's going to be delivered via email, and it should be consumable, valuable, and swipeable. All right, let's talk about each of those. Consumable means that the lead magnet should be something that your prospect can quickly digest. Don't give them 50-page ebooks, okay? It may actually turn your prospect off from registering at all because they see a 50-page ebook. You think you're delivering amazing value, and they're like, I can't be bothered to read this. At this stage, your prospect is not going to spend a lot of time investing in reading stuff, okay? So make it short and sweet. You don't want to turn people off, or maybe they give you your information, but they don't read it at all. Again, that's not the purpose of a lead magnet. You want them to get the value out of it, which is why we say the second thing it needs to be is valuable. Okay, that means your prospect should be able to use the information immediately, put it into action, because you want them to actually get value from this and believe that you have now the credibility that you can help them with their problem. Okay, it doesn't have to be the whole problem you're trying to solve, but maybe the first thing or something very easy for them to fix. Okay, and then swipeable means that the information should be usable without a lot of effort. Don't focus on broad strategy and theoretical concepts. Ideally, your prospect should be able to use what you've displayed as is. Maybe a checklist or a swipe file, hence the description, swipeable, or some kind of instruction sheet, but very easy to implement. Don't make this difficult for them, because they won't. Again, they won't. They don't have enough trust and credibility for you to spend the time and effort to figure this out. So make it swipeable if you can. Okay, the best lead magnets are swipeable. All right, finally, step 4 is the indoctrination sequence. Now, the purpose of an email indoctrination sequence is to get your prospect to enter the webinar education funnel. So to do that effectively, you're going to have to introduce yourself and your method, establish some credibility, and then make that invitation. And that's what should be the basis of any good indoctrination email sequence. If you do that, it really doesn't matter what you say or do as long as you establish those things. But I will give you a broad list of what a good indoctrination sequence could entail. So the order and the number of these emails I'm going to list out to you are going to vary from audience to audience, but you should definitely include these following email types in your sequence. Okay, first, a personal story or philosophy, something that establishes why you care about this outcome, why you're doing what you do, maybe a story of overcoming some issue. Okay. 2, what is the desired outcome or customer journey? You're taking your customer on a journey over the next 3 years. What does that journey look like? What does the outcome look like for them? Get them hooked on the journey. 3, some kind of contrarian view of conventional wisdom's idea of the problem. You want to, again, disrupt their thinking that the conventional wisdom is true. Think of something that they believe is true but is not really true. That's the contrarian view you want to teach. 4th, teach your signature method. Whatever that signature method is, introduce it during your indoctrination sequence. 5, have a case study of a successful outcome. Could be you or a client, but tell the story. Remember, a good case study has a situation, a complication, the steps to resolve it, and then what the results of that resolution are. Use number 6, include some kind of PR or authority piece. Have you been published elsewhere? Were you on TV? Were you on a podcast? Include information about that so that people understand that you have some authority in the space. 7, dive more deeply into one of the elements of your signature method. Show that the signature method isn't just surface level, but it has depth by taking one of those pieces and drilling into it. That'll give people the idea that there's much more to come. 8, an introduction to your program or solution. This is where you're going to describe exactly what your flagship high ticket program is going to look like and what it involves so that people get some sense from you about what it is that you do. 9, personal motivation for achieving the outcome on the customer journey. Explain why you care about getting your client this result. What is your personal motivation? What backstory, what thing matters to you? You want to get your audience basically on the same team with you for fighting a war. Okay, this is your battle cry. Why is this important? Number 10, invitation to your webinar or to download your transcripted offer. That's the thing which is involved in your webinar and education funnel that we talked about yesterday. Okay, now at least every third email, maybe more, during this sequence should include some invitation to jump on a call with you. Don't forget to allow them the possibility to jump the queue and jump on a call with you during the indoctrination sequence. Because sometimes all they need is 1 or 2 emails and the person recognizes, yeah, this is someone I want to talk to. Okay, those are the 4 steps into a lead magnet funnel and how you put a good lead magnet together. Hopefully that was helpful for you. Keep in mind that this is one of a number of things that has to happen. And that this may not be project number 3 for you. It might be project number 6. This is just one of 12 projects that needs to occur if you want to hit the 7-figure mark, if you want to cross the 100K a month. So keep that in mind. I'm going to post the link to the training here in the comments, and hopefully it's helpful for you. All right, everyone, take care. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. All right, everyone, that's it for today. And 2 things that you want to do. Number 1, if you have not had a chance to join our Facebook group, you need to be able to do that. This is really where we're going to be discussing a lot of this stuff in detail. You can actually, in the Facebook group, get written documentation of the project that we just discussed. So where you want to go to is facebook.com/groups/high ticket program. All together in one word, no breaks, no dashes, high ticket program. So facebook.com/groups/high ticket program. That link is below the video or in the show notes page. If you're out and about listening to audio, come on back to click on through and join. Absolutely free. Other thing that we want to offer you is called our 12-week high ticket program Black Book. This is over 60 pages of standard operating procedures for designing, launching, executing your high ticket program. The way you get that is you go to frankbria.com/blackbook. Again, the link is below here for you to grab that. High ticket program is our Facebook group. The Black Book is our free 60-page standard operating manual for how to run a group program. Go get that at frankbria.com/blackbook, and we will see you there. Thanks again so much for being with us today. We're going to have great content again coming up soon, so stick with us for our next episode, and we'll see you soon. All right, everyone, take care. Bye-bye.